We're looking at California's prison initiative, a new one that prioritizes rehabilitation over punishment. Yesterday, if you recall, we got an inside look at the last days of death row at San Quentin, all part of a larger effort to reshape the state's prison system overall. And today, in part two of our series, we take a deeper look at what people are calling the California model, an effort to rehabilitate general population prisoners. The initiative offers inmates who demonstrate good behavior programs from therapy to sign language classes to coding. Joining us now is contributor Gianna Taboni. Gianna, we liked yesterday's report. We're looking forward to this one. Good morning.
Good morning, Tony. I've been working on a book about the death penalty in America titled The Volunteer, and at a recent family event, I introduced myself to Governor Gavin Newsom. We have a family connection. He agreed to an interview, and back in April, we visited 2 state prisons to witness how he is implementing California's new approach to incarceration.
When I first came to prison, I couldn't be honest with myself about what I had done. I have caused the end of someone's life, murdered someone.
These incarcerated women are trying to get to the root of why they committed crimes, to avoid reoffending in the future. Therapy groups like this one are part of the California model, a taxpayer-funded initiative being rolled out across 8 prisons statewide, prioritizing rehabilitation and education. California's Governor Gavin Newsom says his goal is to prevent people from coming back into the system.
There are people that absolutely never should be released. Absolutely. I believe that in my core. There are people that absolutely should be released, but are not prepared yet to be released because they're not fully rehabilitated.
The initiative, which offers everything from job training to dog handling, is based on a model from Norway. Leading the charge is Newsom's prisons chief, Jeff McCumber, who started his career as a guard.
Back when you were an officer, would you have been on board with something like this?
No. I didn't have the vision back then that I do now. And, a lot of people say, why are you doing this? Why should you spend money for incarcerated to go to college? And I say, well, it's costing you a lot more to keep people in prison and people coming back, and I don't want to create more crime victims out there.
He thinks the approach will also keep prison guards safer, a group with a suicide rate 39% higher than other professions.
If I could reduce violent behavior by the incarcerated, staff assault rate goes down, injuries go down. When Norway started their change, it took them 10 to 20 years. So it's going to take time, but we're going to get there.
But getting there is not only going to take time, but buy-in from correctional staff.
Many of these correctional officers have also been assaulted by inmates. Is everybody on board?
Not everybody. I mean, no one's naive, but this couldn't be done without them. We said, you're going to be around that table making decisions with us.
We wanted to know what the guards think about the California model. We sat down with a few of them and their boss.
When I first heard about it, like a lot of us, it was met with skepticism.
I thought it was a great opportunity to just treat people like people, treat them like humans. What happens if we give them that respect? Do they give it back?
Probably 95% of our population's going to get out, and I feel like our job as peace officers is what are we providing to that person to not create more victims.
Here's a picture of Kyle and I playing up in the snow. This is before I married his mom. And here we are, the 3 of us, Kyle and his mom and myself. Those were definitely good times.
John Sperry's stepson, Kyle Myrick, was beaten to death by a coworker when he was just 28 years old. His killer is now serving 15 years to life.
There are a lot of people who have been convicted of murder in this state who are now gaining access to rehabilitative programs. What are your thoughts on that?
I do feel like the California model is chipping away at the justice that we're supposed to receive. And perpetrators, they serve some time, and now their time in prison is going to be even easier. So how is that justice?
Do you feel that people who are convicted of murder, do they deserve a second chance?
I don't think they're going to be fixed by any amount of dog training or horse petting or any other therapies that they offer. I think they're probably just beyond that.
What is the experience of having to mourn a child?
It's absolutely horrific. Even before I knew for sure that Kyle was dead, and we were searching for him. It was so painful just to be alone with my thoughts, and it hurts everyone that he knew. It's really just brutal.
Does the pain ever go away?
No.
There are family members who have lost loved ones who say these people should exist in punitive environments.
Yeah.
Right? They shouldn't get these privileges. And what do you say to them?
Look, no one's arguing that folks should be released that have committed heinous and horrible crimes that have been sentenced or condemned. In that context, I'm deeply empathetic to the victims. And look, not all the victims are on board, but many are.
The state argues the California model is about public safety. Washington and Oregon are adopting similar initiatives, and Jeff McCumber believes other states will follow.
Do you think this will drive national policy?
Yes, I do, and I think this is where we're headed.
What do you say to folks who are maybe in other parts of the country who are looking at this and saying, what are these California liberals doing? This must be a political strategy.
We're doing this because we think it works. 90% of the folks that are incarcerated here and throughout California are going to go back out and be on the streets. Do you want those folks to have a job, maybe get treated for mental illness while they're here, maybe get the education then have the opportunity for? That if we know those individuals have a 20, 25, 30% lesser chance of coming to the prison, why wouldn't I do that? Why wouldn't I try that?
When I was with Secretary McCumber there at the prison, he told me about when he was a warden at a high incident facility, so a place where there's a lot of violence, and he noticed that the folks who were in the classroom were not the ones causing trouble. And then when he got the top post, the data reflected his personal experience, which I thought was very interesting. Nate?
Gianna, thank you. Wow, that is eye-opening.
It is eye-opening, and then you can't help but think what that father was saying, though.
Yeah, the families of the victims.
Yeah, I get the idea of rehabilitation, preventing future victims.
Yes.
It does save money. You don't warehouse people. It respects human dignity. But, man, when you sit in that father's chair, you feel differently.
Yeah, but I am conflicted.
Yeah,
because if 95% of prisoners are going to be released, then what are we doing to rehabilitate?
Rehabilitate. Yeah, I've often heard they go into prison and sometimes they come out worse than when they went in. It only makes you a better criminal. So clearly something needs to be done. I'm not quite sure what the answer is.
Yeah, it's eye-opening, though.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Really great.